What's happening, YouTube? This is Antibody with Team Xonotic bringing you another duel commentary. This one is Smilecythe versus Solid on Smile's map Tuhma, and this one's long overdue. I had a lot of rendering issues on this one, but I ended up finding something that would work. So let's get right into the action. We're going to be following Smile.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, begin.
All right, so Smile gets the arc spawn. Looks like he's just peeking over to do some damage before he picks up the Mega Health. So at this point, he has the Arc and the Devastator. One thing I would like to mention is that I missed in my map review that the weapon spawns for both the Vortex and the Devastator are at 30-second frequencies. So that's different from the standard 10-second pickup frequencies that you see for other weapons. So that adds a really interesting dynamic in that dual players can now control more than ever in this particular map what weapons their opponents can get. So look for the change in gameplay here as you see the Vortex and the Devastator work into the rotation along with the Mega Health and the Mega Armor. Okay, so while I was talking about that, Solid has gotten himself on the board with a frag. So there's no better player for this map to spectate than Smile to get an idea of where the angles are and where the avenues of approach are for effective dueling on this map. So he made the map. So in my discussions with him on IRC, he told me that he designed this map to be like the antithesis of his style. So for people who are super aggressive, this map is intended or designed to be counteractive to that. So I'd be interested to see how players also known to be very aggressive like Islin or Dodger handle playing on this map. But yeah, I like that intent of slowing people down, because some maps, I'm not going to pick on Hub, but I'll just go ahead and say it. So Hub is notorious for being like a spawn fragger's haven. So maybe given the complexity of the map, maybe the aforementioned item timers help to counteract that aspect of dueling on this map. Alright, so back to the gameplay. Smilecythe holding on to a narrow frag lead. One frag lead. Looking to ascend it here, actually. Doing a lot of damage there. So Smilecythe in the lead, 3-1. A little over 2 minutes in. Trying to get the bounce mortar frag. Doesn't happen, but he follows up with, just lasering up. Getting in Solid's face. That works just as well. Near miss for that Vortex shot, but he's able to pick up the Mega Armor. Another thing to look for in this match here, Smile gets a nice air mortar, making an easy frag there. Look as easy as it is, but yeah, air mortars definitely are not easy. Another thing to look for is the kind of ramp jumps or which walls to laser to get to items. So we saw that you can laser off the little ramp in that green hallway to get over to the Vortex quickly. So that's always good to know. One thing I did cover in the map review is, how interesting, encasing those two important weapons in the water tunnels, whatever you want to call them, is. That definitely makes it a huge risk to go for either of those weapons, and it will slow you down. It's basically like just another way of representing a death trap there. Alright, so Smile with somewhat comfortable lead, 4 frag lead, 4 minutes in. Missing a bunch of shots there. Lands that one. Solid stealing away the Mega Health, and he gets a frag on the board, 5-2. A little over 4 minutes into the match. So one other thing that I missed in my map review is the corridors that you, or kind of, I don't know, they look like little AC vents that are near the vortex that you can actually fit into when you crouch. Super important for kind of sneaking up and picking off the mega health when somebody isn't necessarily on the ball with their timing. So that's good to know. And also near the vortex spawn is a grate that you can toss mortars into. And I think it ends up manifesting itself with damage under the vortex walls. So there's damage through the walls and such in this game. So that is a way where you can deal damage without really exposing yourself too much. Smile stealing away the mega health, dealing a lot of damage, gets a frag from it, 6-2. 5.5 minutes in. I always like to see when players go and try to deprive their opponents of additional resources. That's what we were seeing Smilecythe do just then with the 50 armor. Despite it being in a very risky area, that gate over there that opens up is basically another death trap. Can't really get out of there, so it's basically a huge risk to go in there. But yeah. Smilecythe extending his lead. It's now 7-2. I'm not sure if Solid was able to get the vortex there or not. I didn't hear the pickup sound, but it could have been that I'm just too far away. It looks like he didn't, but he did just there. Okay, Solid being coy through the tellies. This does seem like a good map for the, you know, peek shots or just wait and fire, disappear through a telly. Okay, Smile knows that Solid doesn't have a Devastator, so he's expecting him to come down there, but Solid is not taking the bait, either because he heard him down there or he's positioning for a different item. He must have been positioning well because he gets a frag out of it. 7-3. That's what I was talking about with the increased resistance in these water tunnels. It's a huge risk to go up there. And this particular one is exposed to a big surface area of the map. So if you go in there for that vortex, you better go at it direct. You have to kind of swim through that water at all. Man, you just better get ready for some damage then. Okay, Smile holding on to a lead. I can't say that there's any consistent item rotation here for the Megas, but it does seem Smile is aware of both weapons, trying to grab and maintain control of both of those. Waiting for Solid to appear out of the telly, but the bobbing didn't quite work out with that one. That's where that little room becomes a death trap in actuality. Solid getting a frag out of that as he's trying to escape that room unsuccessfully. Okay, so Smile has a pretty thin lead with under a minute and a half remaining. Let's see what kind of approach he takes. Dealing some damage. Dealing a lot of damage, actually. Great hits. Solid must have been tremendously stacked. Sustained all those hits. And indeed, more so than just sustaining them, he's getting closer to tying the match with under a minute. Looks like Solid looped right back around there. I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with the map to figure out like the pathway he took, but that was pretty nice. Realizing Okay, I went through the telly a little bit too early, so it's either he follows after me shortly thereafter, or I just loop right back around. So in that case, very effective loop back that nets him a tie with, you know, precious seconds remaining. Okay, looks like Smile's open for the Devastator. Solid grabbing it right from above him as we go into overtime. Yeah, he's still looking for it, and he's actually trying to hit it as if he was equipped with it, but he wasn't. So that nets Solid the first lead of the game, 8-7. So we have just over 1 minute remaining. And it's overtime. 2 minutes of overtime. Okay, Smile able to steal away a Mega Armor. So he's pretty well equipped for a fight. Okay, he gets a double. So he picks up the Mega Health as well. And conveniently pushes Solid into the gears over there to tie the game. And unfortunate for Solid, he gets a bad spawn there, which gives Smilecythe the lead with just a little over 30 seconds remaining in the match. Okay, Smile keeping the rotation going. Alright, Solid, trying to claw himself back. And is unable to find Smile until the last second, and by then it's too late. So Smile with the win over Solid on his own map, Tuhma. What a great overtime match. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Antibody. I'm with Team Xonotic. Stick to this channel, subscribe, and you'll see more videos just like this. Until then, happy fragging. Adios.